Are 15-minute meals possible? Yes, they are. And today we're going to make one. We start with batch cooked ground beef and pre-made rice. For a side, we have a couple of vegetables that we're going to saute. So let's get started. Okay, so for today's 15-minute meal, I have my ground beef and onions that I have batch cooked. This is what's left over. I have some rice that we have batch cooked. I did this earlier for prepping. And I have a can of tomatoes and some mixed up salt mix that I like to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is add some rice. We made a lot, so we could have a couple different meals out of it. So this is probably about 2 cups of rice. And then I have probably a half a pound of hamburgers and some onions in there. And I have a can of tomatoes. Turn my oven on to medium high. And then I've got some seasoning mix. And this is Crazy Jane's mixed up seasonings. This is her salt mix. And so I'm going to do a tablespoon and a half roundabout. And we're going to give that a stir. Gotta chop up your ground beef because it's kind of cold. So I'm just going to chop up my ground beef. So the smaller I make my ground beef, the more it will be distributed within the rice. And this is the way I make 15-minute meals. I take partially cooked or cooked, already made ingredients, and I combine them. It's called meal prepping, batch cooking. So for my meal prep, I did my rice earlier, a little while ago, today. And then my ground beef and onions were made in another video where I batch cooked those. So I made like 3 pounds of ground beef and onions. And this is what we're having for dinner today. Want to get started with your own 15-minute meals? Subscribe to my channel and watch my playlists. 15-minute meals, batch cooking, meal prepping, freezer cooking, slow cooking, and so much more. Use these dinner streamlining techniques to get your dinner on the table in 15 minutes. Now, I'm going to chop up some veggies and then saute those. So over here I have some squash and zucchini, and I'm just going to chop that up for a little sauteed vegetable on the side. I'll go ahead and put a pan back here at the back. And get that warmed up. Gonna add a little olive oil to the pan and let that get warm. This squash grew together. 2 of them. So we're going to have a little sauteed zucchini and squash, because they're fresh from the garden. I'm going to give this a taste. It's nice and warm. It's got the right amount of seasoning, so I'm going to trade my pans and heat this up. I'm going to get started with some squash. Zucchini. Season it a little bit with my Crazy Jane's Crazy. Let's step these off. I'll add just a touch of butter for some extra flavor. So there you have it, my 15-minute meal with batch cooked ground beef and onions, prepped rice, a can of tomatoes, some seasoning mix, and I chopped up some zucchini and squash and fried those up. So that's what I'm having for dinner. 15 minutes, in and out. Plus I have some more zucchini and squash chopped and prepped and ready for another day. Interested in learning how to make 15-minute meals? Sign up for my email list in the description below. This is Jackie from Otherwise, and remember, dinner's at 6.